This is Radomska here for Punch Out Boxing. I'm delighted to be speaking to Radomska, all the way from across the Irish Sea in Dublin. I'm guessing you're in your hotel room.
Yeah, just right here chilling out before the weigh-in starts.
Yeah, as we were saying off camera, thanks for joining me. I know just before weigh-in is never a fun time to talk, but you're not making championship weight, are you?
No, you see, like I'm going up the weight, so I don't really have to lose any weight. So no, like you're okay.
Well, enjoy it while you can, because once you get to the title level, you won't be enjoying making weight. So,
It's going up the weight, like I said. So my weight is a light flyweight or minimum weight, and this time I fight at flyweight. So
uh,
that's why. But like when I'm 49, it's a little bit different. I wouldn't talk to you.
understood. So, you are on the probably the biggest event in Ireland for a decade, maybe longer, at least in terms of boxing. And you got this by calling out one of the young starlets over here in England, Maisie Rose. The Tell us, well, before we go into that, actually, let's tell the fans a bit about yourself. I'm guessing you're from Poland originally and relocated to Ireland. T Tell us how that came about.
Yeah, so I was born in Poland and I live in Ireland over 13 years.
Mhm.
Uh, so basically, how I started boxing in 2017 when I was on my own for Christmas and I didn't go to fight in Muay Thai for a year. So, for someone who loved to fight and dedicate their life to the sport, not getting a fight for a year, it's really disappointing and it's not easy. So I just knew that quitting sport is not an option because I love it so much to do it. So I just knew I had to change plan but not go on. So basically in 2017, like I said, um I was just watching random fights on YouTube and none of the fights really inspired me so much to start boxing. But then I saw Ryan's Burnett fight and it's just changed everything, absolutely like everything. I watched every single interview of him, every single fight, basically everything, and I said, right, that's exactly what I have to do. I just have to go find a club and start boxing. But I always knew amateur boxing, it's not kind of my path. I always prefer professional boxing much more. But yeah, basically this is how it started. And a few days ago, I actually met Ryan Burnett in Belfast, and it was amazing. If you will tell me this in 2017, when I was but desperate to do something with my sport career, I wouldn't believe it. I will meet Ryan one day, and it was incredible. So I'm more than ready for this fight.
Wow, that's great to hear. Yeah, Ryan was such a great talent. Sadly, his career did get cut short with injuries. Was there a particular fight of his that really inspired you?
I actually remember the first fight I watched. It was for when he fought Hopkins for the world title.
Mhm.
And which when he gave me the belt to hold, so because we were taking a picture, he gave me the red one. So the one where I watched the first fight was incredible. I still can't believe it. I actually met him.
Yeah, as you said, what a talent he was, beating Haskins and Zakianov. Of course, I remember him sadly for that freak defeat against Donaire. I guess it was that injury essentially that finished him. But hey, his legacy lives on through you, and here you are. So, your career was yeah, chugging along nicely as it does for prospects, but we didn't see you since last July, where you hit a bit of a bump in the road against Gemma Rueg, really good fighter from the South Coast. Um, Much bigger woman. Yeah, is is that what went wrong? Was she just too big for you?
Well, so basically what I say, yeah, like my last fight was in July. And I think the loss was the best thing that probably ever happened to me. Sorry, for me, because I always say losses are not happening to you, they're happening for you. So everything happens for a reason. And Kate Radomska going to this fight is a completely different fighter.
Hmm. And as you said, you've then actually called out MAISEY. So tell us what made you get her on your crosshairs? Was it just that you wanted to be on this biggest show in Ireland?
So I like, first of all, I don't like the call out. I just messaged Maisie on Instagram before her fight and I wished her best of luck. And I said it would be great to share the ring with her on the May 20th as Katie's homecoming show was announced.
Mm-hmm.
She says she would love to. So, you know, when two fighters want to fight each other, it will always happen. And and yeah, like when I saw her professional debut, I said to my manager that I would love to fight her one day. And here we are.
Good old Robbie Flynn. That one day he brings it so much closer. So you mentioned there, you think your preferred weight is minimum weight.
Well, basically, you know, like in female, like we either have to go up the weight or down the weight. There's not as many of us as male. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Okay, but is that been a bit of a matchmaking problem? Because minimum weight, I imagine, in Europe at least, there's probably not many of you that small. You'd have to go all the way to probably Asia to find
I think there's only five
opponents.
in minimum weight, so it's crazy.
Hmm.
Crazy. But I think like you always want to challenge yourself against, you know, the best or someone who is on the top. Um like I remember my Muay Thai days. It wasn't a case that you said, "Oh, I'm not going to fight her because she has more experience," which Maisie does. I'm not going to fight her because she's this, she's that. Like, no, I'm like, but these are the kind of fights I always wanted.
Absolutely. What do you make of Macy? Of course, being signed to Matchroom, she's obviously going to be getting quite a lot of backing. But she's a young talent. How do you assess her?
Maisie is a class fighter, and like I said yesterday on the press conference, I don't expect anything less than tough, competitive fight. But once again, these are the kind of fights I always wanted.
Hmm. Yeah, she's got considerable, would you say, height and reach advantages over you?
Yeah, she's a little bit taller than
Hmm.
means nothing.
But she's only 18, so I think that you might have that woman strength over her.
It is gonna be a really explosive, competitive fight. Um, I'm not afraid of blood either. I'm going there to war, and I'll do everything to win this fight. And she's the same, so
And
I, I know we're gonna give a good fight for Irish fans, for my home fans.
absolutely, looking at your amateur record, of course, you represented Ireland internationally in all of that. So you got quite a good support base there in Dublin.
Yeah, never fought as a professional, just like Katie, in Ireland. So it would be amazing. I can feel already the atmosphere would be electric. So I can't wait for that.
Yeah, I can imagine that. I believe you're opening the show. Is that right?
I think it's either first or second or yet to be confirmed.
But because it's such a big night, you can imagine even at that early stage of the night, as you said, the atmosphere will be electric.
It'll be different. You know, like even in England, like shows are happening every week. And in Ireland, that's the biggest show, one of the biggest, or if not the biggest show Ireland ever had. So everyone is, I think, from the first fight, the arena will be full.
Hmm.
So can't wait
It,
for it.
it's going to be a special night for sure. And hopefully, as we said, you've been somewhat inactive. Is that because there's been a problem getting opponents in the right weight range for you?
Yeah, it was like I said, there's only a few girls in Europe, in each weight division basically. So like for me, it wasn't the case to fight the same, you know, the same person just for the sake of fighting. So But don't get me wrong, I didn't just sit down and lie on the couch or anything like this. I love the sport more than anything. And like when I'm preparing to fight, I train twice a day. But if I'm not, I'm training every single day. Um, like I look after myself, um, with or without fight exactly the same weight. So I'm ready.
That's fantastic and well worth doing, as we've seen with the Nina Hughes fight. Katie Healy get the last minute call sometimes because, as you said, there's so few fighters. If someone gets injured, you never know when you get a big opportunity. Ideally, how regularly would you like to fight if the fights were available?
1 month, 2 months,
Once a month?
month. I love to fight.
Uh-huh. Because I mean, against Gemma, of course, you had the 8-rounder. I guess after this, would you maybe want to look at, say, 10-rounders if you can get them?
Well, so after my fight in July, I was supposed to fight in October, then in March, and then finally here we are in May.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like this time I fight 6 rounds, but the next fight, we'll see after this one.
Sure. And
Gonna
with
be a big.
yeah, it's going to be a big night. What do you expect after this boxing to return to Ireland sort of a bit more regular, that you can maybe fight at home?
Hopefully, you can definitely see that there's more shows and more things happening boxing wise in Ireland. So
Mm-hmm.
hopefully.
Sure. Do you keep much contact with your country of birth, Poland? Is that an option? Like, have some fights over there as well?
Maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Of course, yeah, Poland, at least in the men's game, it's quite, it's doing quite well. Quite a few Poles often come over to England, so yeah, there's some popularity for the sport over there as well.
Polish warriors. That's what they say. Polish warriors. They never give up. Go
Indeed,
all in. That's for in boxing. You just need to kind of flip from time
yeah.
to time. It's in Muay Thai, like for me, when I remember started boxing, so like in Muay Thai, you just go basically all in.
Hmm.
So like in boxing, you don't really have to do it. Like, you have to move your head a little bit more. But in Muay Thai, like if you slip, you can get a knee, so it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I still have toughness in me, that's for sure.
Well, we can't wait to see that on Saturday night. So, what do you make of the main event then? I mean, massive kudos to Katie Taylor. Took the hardest possible fight for her homecoming. Um, Talking to a lot of my media colleagues, there's quite a big body of opinion that Chantel Cameron could win this. How do you see the fight going?
Well, it's a massive fight for Irish and female boxing. It's undisputed champion versus undisputed champion, so it's not going to be an easy fight for either of them. But
Do you think that the home crowd might lift Katie enough to just get her ahead of Chantel?
definitely, yeah,
Uh-huh.
fight as well. I know you just want to tell me who is going to win, but
I mean, from what you saw of Katie last time out, is there think that maybe she's probably just a little bit past her best now, and Chantel
like
has
yeah,
that youth advantage?
like I said, like if you ask me, I definitely back Katie. Like, but I don't say that Chantel doesn't have a chance or anything like this. Like I know it is going to be a massive fight, and I think it's one of the biggest fights in female boxing and in boxing in general. So yeah,
Yeah, no doubt. I did ask your manager Robbie if he could get me in for Saturday. He couldn't pull any strings this time, so unfortunately I'll be watching it on TV. But yeah, look forward to seeing you out for the first time. Well, on your fight, you gonna give us a prediction how it goes?
I said again, better woman is gonna win. It is gonna be a top fight, so I don't expect anything less. But I'm not gonna leave any stone unturned, and I know Maisie is exactly the same. So
All right, it'll be great to see you guys, you girls, open the show. All right, Kate, been a pleasure speaking to you for the first time. As you kickstart the Irish leg of your career, finally. Anything you want to add?
I can't wait for tomorrow. There's a weigh-in here soon. And I can't wait to put on a big performance Saturday night in front of Irish crowd.
Mm-hmm. All right. So just a reminder to the fans, they can tune in on dazn for the biggest night in Ireland for over a decade. So tune in and support these ladies. Kate, absolute pleasure speaking to you for the first time, and good luck for Saturday night.
Thank you.